The kicker, Brandon Aubrey, is out to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by someone who has proved doubters wrong his entire career. MVP runner-up a season ago, Jalen Hurts.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
And now a big play to start off this drive as the shot downfield is complete. A very solid gain of 27.
Play action here on the first play from scrimmage. They want to see how the linebackers are going to react. Are they looking to stop the run? Or are they going to sit back in coverage? A really nice job there of going in attack mode early, and they pick up a quick first down.
First carry for DeAndre Swift. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
From the 48-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. A quick throw there is incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll look to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Chauncey Golston in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. This will be fielded at the 17. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Time for Dak Prescott and the Dallas offense to go to work. Prescott, of course, the former 4th-round pick in 2016 out of Mississippi State.
And how about the toughness of Dak Prescott? We see it all the time on the field. And remember when he had that serious ankle injury, would he return to form? Boy, did he ever. And he was better than ever, and that's great for the NFL. Terrific resilience, playing at a high level, capable of winning a championship with his arm and his legs.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's dumped off to Pollard. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. But looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Give him 18 on that one, and it's a Dallas 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, do I have that dagger play? Do I have that play and just finish them off right now? Because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Now Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. So the completion good for just 3. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here in 3rd down.
3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Play action now, Prescott. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well.
What an excellent end result for them. But let's go back to the decision, first of all, to go for it all on 4th down. A lot of pressure on the quarterback's shoulders, but they knew he could handle it. Makes the right read there, gets the ball to his receiver. They get the 1st down. It's now 1st and goal.
Here's Prescott. And it's caught. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Dak's going to keep it. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Dak Prescott scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Cowboys will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Eagles nothing.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. But 1st down, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the 1st quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing is Hurts. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago. So a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there. And they get the first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the option to give to Swift here. Dancing away at the 35. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
So from the 37, here's 2nd and 3. On the option to give to Swift here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Now, we all know that an offensive coordinator and quarterback, they're aligned at the hip. But when you've got a runner who can get you that kind of yardage, that guy's invaluable.
2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Hurts. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. Now 2nd quarter action from Philadelphia, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there, and worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you give those linebackers a freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
First down, and they go with Swift again. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. as they kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
To about the 40-yard line.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Here's Pollard again. Nifty move. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
I think that's about as good a 3-yard run as you're going to see. And he actually did with a little bit of flair, didn't he?
This now a 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. And that is incomplete.
And that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. Taking it about the 16. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. And you see the last drive, great chunky yardage, the touchdown on 5 carries. And offensively, everything just looked in sync, didn't it?
It did, and the reason that it was in sync is because it's a combination of play calling, game plan, offensive line marrying up with all of their blocks. But don't forget the receivers out on the perimeter. Any type of a long run, the receivers have had a hand in that because they've occupied people downfield. And, of course, give the big credit to the man with the football. Great vision, good movement, gets to the end zone. He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 31, here's 2nd and a couple. Hurts sets up to throw it. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Eagles on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll try and run here with Swift. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. Taken from just outside the 30. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Throwing, Prescott. He gets it to Cooks. And now look at him go. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
We know play callers can be very creative in this game today, but sometimes when they've got receivers with speed like this, they don't need to design incredibly complex calls. Sometimes it's just get the ball in his hands and let him do his thing. In a sense, less can become more, and it was right there.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Prescott to throw it. Able to hit his target land. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Pollard. Going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Off the play fake, Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. Now here's Pollard. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends are on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of the tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And that makes the score 14-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Dancing to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's Hurts to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Damone Clark. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Boy, he had to fit that into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes, those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He finds his man, Pollard. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Looking to throw, Prescott. Touchdown, Cowboys! Dak Prescott with a connection to CeeDee Lamb. And the Cowboys will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now 21-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. Taken at the goal line. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And this is caught. It's Brown. Down the sideline he goes. Trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 63 yards.
Oh, man, disappointment that he couldn't finish that off in the end zone. What an effort there, doing all he can to get to the pylon, and he's going to wind up out of bounds just short. But a huge play there, going to set him up with first and goal from very short range.
This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. Hurts. And he's got it. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's third and goal. Swift is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Elliott now to add the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. On the out route, it's Lamb with a grab. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. And this one is no good. He missed it, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
One of the few things that hasn't gone right in this first half. They had a chance there for late points, but this one winds up off the mark.
Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. That's leaking to the right, and he missed it by a foot or two. It's no good. So that would have been something from that distance, but to no avail. Comes up empty as we have reached the intermission. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Both of these offenses had their share of high points in that first half. Each team had some big moments, and it would seem this could turn out to be a game where the last score wins. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter three. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Prescott now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the third quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. This short throw caught by Goddard. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here it goes, an impressive 41-yard gain.
What my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Hurts going to keep it running right. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were in nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 44. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. He's going to get it on the jet sweep. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
2nd down and a little more than a yard here. They'll run left with Pollard. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. But one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
Philadelphia's offense ready to go again. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Chauncey Golston bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
This is brought in at the 21. So possession goes over here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
25 yards that time.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Prescott. Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Prescott. Swinging this out for Pollard. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
A gain of 9 yards. 1st down, Dallas.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching me. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so it went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Prescott. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now a give here to Pollard. Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Now a 2nd and 6. Here's Prescott. That's dumped off to Pollard. So they'll get nothing out of that play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
That's a defense you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. From 13 yards out. And the Cowboys have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Aubrey good with a PAT. And the lead now up to 14. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. On the return, Boston Scott. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Philadelphia's offense ready to give us another look. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 16. On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. 47 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 23, this is 2nd and 3. From the gun, it's Hurts. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
On the option to give to Swift here. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
2nd down, here's Hurts. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's complete to Swift out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Hurts. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Hurts sets up to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And Dallas, they'll take over in terrific field position. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle dump.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. They tried to go with a little play action there, but nobody on the defensive side bit.
Yeah, they adjusted in time and in a big way and ultimately got the sack. On offense, sometimes you're running play action just to set up a certain blocking technique. In this case, none of it worked.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. Prescott from the gun. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. The linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And he is going to have the Cowboys first down, it would appear. And yes, the chain gang going to move the sticks. They take a risk on 4th and 4, but they get it by a full yard. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys... So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Philadelphia.